workday seems to violate the spirit of the sunshine law. And in this case, it didn't seem to be necessary. I don't think that anything is going to really move into action in the next 11 hours that we could have this exact same conversation at 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is I do think that we are collectively feeling an urgency to get agreement as a board that the facility task force and engaging them in an architectural firm or a facility planner firm was urgent, and identifying 3 candidates that we can maybe even have come to the facility task force, and collectively we had spent a lot of time, energy, and effort in investing in HPG and Kevin Harrison in the last 6 months. And so when there was a break in that on Friday, I felt, while I agree with what we've said, that any successful organization or some of the best organizations are adaptable and nimble and can adapt when things go not as planned, because I think everyone in this room would probably have said HPG and Grandview Heights aren't going to have a problem, and he isn't going to, or we aren't going to part ways. However, that's not the case, and so I'll just share with you, I felt some urgency and a desire to get the 5 board members, the CFO, and myself together as soon as possible, because I'll tell you, while I'm optimistic about our ability to address this, it does create some urgency in me. And so I will share, I wanted to have this conversation sooner and later and ask the board president, Debbie, who couldn't be here, to try and schedule something sooner as opposed to later, because I wanted to make sure that we all were united in a plan to include hiring someone else. I think that's really important. And what is the process to engage in that? And so, right, wrong, or indifferent, I felt some anxiety and some urgency around that. I will share with you in full transparency, the thought of not being transparent and calling this didn't occur to me, perhaps naively, but it did not. It was more about an urgency I felt on Friday and a desire to get this group together so that we had a collective focus and plan to move forward to replace a really critical component of this facility planning process that is no longer in the puzzle. So that was my thinking, just full honesty.
And not to get too personal, but I think Andy was actually out of the state until late last night. So once again, I think it's good feedback. I think it's good for us to consider, and I appreciate you being honest with us as a board. And we'll, because we do take that to heart. And if people don't think we do, I think that's something that perception is reality, and we'll consider that in the future. But he was out. He just got back this morning, and he wanted to meet with us right away. That was discussion. And so it did. So I appreciate that context. Thank you.
Otherwise, we probably would, full disclosure, we probably would have met Monday morning. But because I was in South Dakota, I was way out of town, and I got back 9:30 last night, and this was weighing heavy on me, quite candidly. And so I wanted to get this group together as soon as possible and have a plan. And I feel like we are in agreement with a plan. And there is urgency around, in my judgment, hiring a replacement, and we're going to do that through the facility task force. And that group was unanimous in the decision that we hire HPG. And I think that group is the right venue, and I'm hearing consensus on that, to hire the next person. And quite candidly, I would like to get that done as soon as possible.
Yep.
I think that there is urgency around that. At least I'm feeling it. So while I do hear what some of you are saying, I'm just telling you, this caused me great angst. And I do think there was a need to get the governance team together to have this conversation. And it wasn't about any sort of lack of transparency or desire therein. Although, John, I respect your judgment and perceptions greatly. So certainly open to suggestions.
And dot yours too.
And dot yours too. In all seriousness. So I hope you understand and hear my perspective and where I was coming from. And that lends maybe a little different perspective and insight.
So I mean, I think that's we are where we are right now. I appreciate the feedback, and I think that's something for us to consider with our timing, or even maybe if we do have to do a quick meeting, a better explanation of exactly what we're doing.
The other thing, I would like to get some type of communication more broadly out, and I'll be working on that as well.
Send out reminders for tomorrow, especially if I
It's on my to-do list.
Babysitters available, right?
And there is child care at the elementary and middle school building meetings, but you have to go to the meetings. You can't drop your kid off and go to take care. We're going to check that. It's 400 kids there, 3 people. Yeah, that's it. So, for adjournment.
So moved. Mr. Douglas? Aye. Mrs. Evans? Aye. Mr. Polchak? Aye. Mr. Chairman?
Thank you.